today we're going to be talking about our influencer department and what we do, how we bill for it, and how we sort of best find that we sit with influencers in clients' marketing strategies. But I'll let you introduce yourself first.
Sure. So I'm Lucy. I'm Senior Influencer Marketing Manager here at The Social Shepherd. So I lead our influencer team, and I'm kind of there more kind of directing the team and our clients in terms of how we approach our influencer campaigns. We're a small but mighty team.
Yeah, you all get your hands dirty.
We really do. So we've also got Kemi, who's our influencer marketing and campaign manager, and we have Kaylee as well, who's our influencer marketing exec. So altogether, we are your go-to for delivering influencer campaigns.
And so the influencer team has really sort of solidified itself in sort of the last 6 months or so, I would say. But I thought it'd be helpful to go through what exactly we do. So it's probably best we kind of, there's an array of different types of influencers and different types of talent that you can manage under the pillar of influencer strategy. So what do we do?
We are kind of there to do, full end-to-end campaign management, and equally we do things kind of on a retained basis and a project basis. So if we start kind of from the retained activity, that's where we typically tend to work with content creators. So that fits in with our organic team's monthly content activity. So we'll reach out to content creators who aren't necessarily influencers, but are experts in creating social first content. And we kind of manage the relationships with them, send out products to them, and kind of brief them in terms of producing content that can be shared on the brand social channels.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions about content creators is you need to pay them.
Exactly.
You do. Unless you've got a really high value product or something, you need to pay your content creators, because in the same way that you would pay a video production company to create a video, that is what a content creator is doing for you. You're using them for their ability to create content, not for their influence.
Precisely.
And so that time needs to be respected. And so I think that's one of probably our pet hits whenever it comes to content creator campaigns.
Definitely. It's just respecting that they are experts in what they do. Their time and effort needs to be fairly reimbursed. Definitely. We then kind of move on to the more kind of project-based activity. So that's where we tend to kind of work with micro influencers, macros, and celebrity talent. Thinking about micro influencers, they tend to have kind of a smaller, more engaged community, but again are kind of expert content creators, but they've got that level of influence. So we'll work with them on kind of producing content for their own channels. It can be reshared to the brand's channels. It can even be boosted through branded content to reach a wider audience. But we kind of tend to work with lots of different micro influencers to kind of get as much awareness as possible, to really kind of drive engagement, to help kind of push people through your sales funnel and everything as well.
And I think they serve very different purposes, don't they?
Definitely.
I think your micro influencers, that's why we tend to work with a whole load of those. So say a client came to us and gave us a 250k budget or something like that. We wouldn't just go, okay, we're going to work with 3 macro influencers. We would want to have, maybe in some instances, but probably we're going to want to have a varied strategy in that, and sort of make sure the client gets the most out of it. I think that kind of leads on to talk about billing as well. So the way that we would tend to bill, although every single industry is different, uptake for every single product is very different as well. We would tend to bill either a minimum charge per talent. So, whether that's £250 per content creator or influencer, or a percentage of the total campaign budget. That's kind of the way that we would tend to do it. But like I said, you could get a really difficult industry where the uptake is going to be really low, and you're almost going to have to pitch to influencers to get them into it. So it does kind of change campaign to campaign, but that's kind of the base of what we would sort of look at. And yeah, I think we're taking on everything sort of left, right, and center. And I think there isn't one way to run an influencer strategy. Every single client has different budgets, different needs. And we're doing a lot of work at the minute on, making sure that influencer marketing is as attributable as possible, and sort of tapping in to make sure we can get as much data as we can. But as a whole, anything influencer, come to our influencer marketing team and they'll be able to advise you on what needs to be done.